It's good, but that's all right. It's over then. Right, lads. World Cup's nearly upon us. Someone's got to win it. Why can't it be England?
Many reasons why. But I think we should start with the optimism, being positive. I think the appointment of Southgate, and I think the timing of it with that group of players, I think the number of players who've already played under Southgate, under 21s and at younger age groups, I think there's 5, 6, 7 players. I think Jordan Pickford, Jesse Lingard, I think both of them recently said, we already know Gareth, we know the style of football he wants to play, we're familiar with him. When you look at international teams and that difficulty of building a bond with the manager and a certain style of play, he's got a huge advantage there. So I do think the time in terms of the manager and this group of players is pretty good.
And also, he's tried to compensate for the fact that he's not spent much time with these players by making sure that he plays a system that they're used to at club level. Yeah. He's making logical decisions.
Yeah. The one kind of asterisk against that is that Roy Hodgson was making logical decisions until the eve of the Euros, and then he basically threw the plan out the window when the pressure got too much. So you'd hope that Southgate has the kind of courage of his convictions and follows through with what he's been doing for the last 2 years.
I think it's the first time we've watched England and thought, that's an England team. We have a set style. I watch us now, we're going to play it out from the back, keeper's going to get it, he's going to give it to the fullback, thinking, I'm watching England play it.
Yeah. It feels like progress.
Yeah, and I do look at other international teams and I think, aside from Spain and Germany, you look at other teams and you think, what is their style?
Another thing for Southgate is that half of his job has been done by some of the world's other great managers. Pep has improved his City players, Klopp has improved his Liverpool players, Pochettino has improved his Spurs players, and those players for those 3 clubs form the nucleus of the England team.
Starting right, assuming he does play a back 3, starting right centre back is almost certainly going to be Kyle Walker now, and it's unthinkable that you would have Kyle Walker as a right centre back 12 months ago before he played under Pep. It just wouldn't happen. Yeah. So
I am worried about that. I am worried about him being the third centre.
It does seem to negate Walker's best qualities. That's the issue. I mean, Southgate said if you watch City, he ends up in those kinds of positions anyway. Yeah. So the logic is sound, but
they retain the ball more, and they're defensively less exposed than England will be at this World Cup against big teams. And there is space to exploit between him and the central centre back, which. If I was a team playing in England, I would basically crossing it in from the other side, so from England's left, in between the centre back and Kyle Walker, because he's just not used to covering that space in the box. That would be a concern for me.
It's a big ask so close to the tournament to do that.
Yeah, exactly. If Portugal play England, you can see Cristiano Ronaldo sliding over towards Kyle Walker every time the ball is out on the right wing. Out on the right wing, get the ball into the box. I'm going to slide over to Kyle Walker.
I don't even get to Lukaku for Belgium though. If I was Lukaku, that's exactly what I'd be doing.
I think the other big concern is central midfield, and we're saying you hope that Southgate has the courage of his convictions and that he will play the style he's played in the friendlies, but he likes having 2 holding players. He's played Jake Livermore a lot and Eric Dyer. I mean, do you really need 2 holding players, particularly in them group stage fixtures?
It's a weak spot, and I think it's the main those central areas, both there in the middle of the midfield and slightly further forward, playing off Kane. That's where you kind of don't know what Southgate's going to do really, because he seems to really like Henderson, so Henderson will probably play. He seems to quite like Dyer, so Dyer will play. So you're probably going to get those 2, and then as you say, that's quite defensive. Then you've got Lingard, who's been in very good form for club and country, scores important goals, has proven that. Sterling has to start because of the season that he's had. So do you play him centrally? Do you start him out wide?
I think what you might find, and what is a great central attacking option for Southgate, is moving Sterling in, because for City he doesn't need to do that job because there are better players at finding space in the middle of the park. So all his job is to get on the end of things, which is often tapping it in from 3 yards when someone's rolled it across the 6-yard box. He's not going to have someone doing that for him for England, but he's done it for Liverpool. He played at the top of a attacking diamond, and he did really well. And I could see him doing a similar thing for England, because that's where they do have attacking talent on those kind of wide wide forward positions. So you could play one of either Dele Alli, Marcus Rashford, Jesse Lingard in those positions, still leaving you a space up top for Harry Kane.
Still feels a little bit square pegs round holes though with those wide positions because Harry Kane is your best player easily. That system plays to him with the two wide players, but really Dele Alli's not a wide player. Jamie Vardy's not a wide player.
He's not a wide player, Dele Alli, but he's been playing for Spurs in that wide left kind of midfield position for such a long time that he knows how to tuck in to support the midfield when he needs to, but then he also knows how to move closer to Kane when Spurs are attacking. In this case,
there is a plan B. I think in the event that we do escape the group, we play better teams who are going to dominate the ball. We've got to sit deep. We do have a Vardy who could play to our strengths.
Especially if you're Germany and you've got Europe against Jamie Vardy or Harry Kane. I think centre backs will prefer to play against Kane.
In that sense, where if you're Harry Kane and the rest of your teammates are 60 yards away from you, you don't want Kane in that position getting isolated because he's not gonna run in behind, run the channels.
Harry Kane being England's main striker should be Plan A.
That is Plan A. It's definitely it is Plan A. Yeah, it is.
So we've kind of done the squad, the group. So Tunisia, Panama, Belgium in that order. Yeah. What are we saying?
England they've got lucky. Yeah. England have got lucky. They've got a good group, two of the weakest teams in the entire tournament. The question is first or second. But then if you look at the next round game, you're going to play either Poland, Colombia, Japan, Senegal. Another kind group. Yeah, it kind of doesn't. You look at Poland and think you don't want them. Colombia are probably the seconds in that group, but until you get to the quarterfinals, England should be fine.
Where they might face Brazil or Germany.
Looking at how things looking at how things are likely to pan out if England finish runners up in their group, which you would maybe expect them to do. Get results against Panama and Tunisia, and then perhaps not get one or maybe a draw against Belgium. So if they finish runners up to Belgium, get through that dodgy, the dodgy looking Group H in the last 16, get to the quarterfinals, then it's Germany. If they finish runners up.
I mean, it's interesting for me. What are the expectations this time around? I think quarterfinals is a success. That's where we're at as a group of players.
I think that's to be happy with. A valiant exit in the quarterfinals to Germany would be alright if they put up a good fight and show some progress.
And there's a part of me that thinks if we face Germany, I wouldn't rule out an England victory. I mean,
we beat them in the build-up to Euro 2016.
There is no pressure on England. You look at Germany, think reigning champions. Well, we're expected to get beat. What do you do? Go out and do best. Yeah, there's no. I think the external pressure this time around, which might change as we get closer, and if we have a couple of other good results in friendlies, that might change as it always does. But for me, there is no pressure this time around.
Yeah, the worry is that England always seem to find a way to lose, whereas a team like Germany always find a way to win. And whether that's just kind of woven into the national DNA, you don't know, but it always feels like that. But then, I think England can also take heart in the success that their youth teams have had over the last year, and you wonder if there might be like a trickle-up effect, if that's such a thing, where they've seen that their English players in the younger age categories have gone and won their respective tournaments. Why can't they follow in their footsteps?
Where are we going to finish? Should we go around the table and ask where do we think England are going to end up? I'm going to say I'm optimistic. Yeah. I'm going to say quarterfinals. Yeah.
That's me too. I think every England fan would say quarterfinals, except the most pessimistic of them all. Because logically, we're going to get through the group. You would expect us to beat one of the other teams from the next stage, and then it gets hard, and that's when you can see us crumbling, basically.
I would say quarterfinals realistically, but that blind, optimistic England fan that emerges in me just before a tournament starts, I'm thinking, I quite fancy Germany. We could do this.
I mean, we've had our ridiculous bet this season. I bet you 20 quid that Wayne Rooney would outscore Romelu Lukaku this season. 20 quid's in the post, don't worry about that. But yeah, let's be optimistic. I mean, yeah, quarterfinals realistically, but yeah, okay, I'm going to say it. Semi-finals, let's do it. Semi-finals, I'm doing it.
Who's taking that bet? All right, okay, you're taking that bet.
Go on then, fiver.
No. I don't want to bet against myself because I really want England to get to the semi-finals, and then I don't want to be having to choose between a fiver or England get to the semi-finals.